Hello again. I'm making another video about WoW Mist of Pandaria Remix to talk about how to get the most bronze per day when you're on a limited time budget and just want to min-max this. You know, just the things you want to do daily that'll get you all the rewards you want, every mount, every toy, every transmog, well before this event ends, without investing a serious time commitment in it. Assuming you already have a character at least to level 70, you're going to want at least that. And I'm going to show you my starting bronze right here. It's 39.49. No, I've been buying transmogs every day, so I've been keeping the bronze low. And I'm going to go over this pretty quickly because I don't want the video to be too long-winded. So I'm going to go ahead and... First thing you're going to do, you're going to grab all the daily quests.
Seek the truth.
What do you want? Guard yourself.
The daily quests are very key.
May the eternal sun...
Now, in this video, I am in a group because I'm doubling up with a second account. But I want to make it clear that's not required. You can do this solo, you don't need friends. It's all through the group finder with short queue times. And the extra stuff that's, like the extra party members, is not required. And the next thing I want to do immediately is go right down the list. Dungeons. You're also going to want to do, even though the quest only requires one of these, you're going to do both. Because each one gives a greater bronze. So we're going to start with a normal dungeon right away. And usually the wait time isn't that long. But I'll cut the wait time out of the video. Well, maybe not. I'll keep it in there. It's not that long anyway, as you can see. Oh, but sometimes you kick back the queue because someone was AFK. Come on, AFK people. Okay. Now, I always do a little bit extra too because I'm trying to make sure the people who are leveling and stuff are getting a lot of experience. So I might pull extra packs that aren't needed. That's just because I'm on a juicer character. Again, that's not required. And you can have your own juicer character too. Again, like, I didn't build this character grinding frogs or anything like that. It was basically just doing the daily activities that I'm doing now. If you don't want to buy mounts and transmog first, you could upgrade your gear first. And it will be upgraded pretty quickly. Even if you don't do the raids or anything like that. These days, even if you don't have a character like this, you often end up in a dungeon with someone who does. The dungeons are pretty fast these days. Not every dungeon's gonna have a character that can go through it real fast, but quite a few of them will.
My legend begins.
Because a lot of people are doing the same thing I am. They're doing their daily dungeons, even though they don't need a dungeon, because they just want to collect the bronze for all the mogs and stuff.
Arise, my...
This is probably the best dungeon possible you can get. This is the shortest dungeon in Mist of Pandaria. When I get this dungeon, I love it. Another good one is Jade Temple. You get those, your daily queues are even faster. And that's a wrap on the daily dungeon. Now to do the daily heroic dungeon. But just to put it in perspective of how much bronze this is per day, I started at, well, you know what I started at. I've already gotten a little bit just from looting. Now I'll turn the dungeon quest in.
Speak. Protect the truth.
And I'll open the cache from the queue as well.
I
hope you find.
I'm already at 9,220 bronze, and I did one thing. And this is also a very good way to get spool. Oop, 540 mastery. Not bad for one attack activity. Oh, actually more than that, because that also gets 300 crit. Okay, next. Moving onward. Heroic dungeon. Because we still want to do it for the cash and the spool. And hopefully the queue is a little smoother this time. Like I said, it doesn't usually take a long time. But sometimes you get kicked out a few times because somebody was AFK. Which is weird because these queue times are not long. Someone's always AFK. I don't know why. It's like people join the queue and immediately go AFK. Because these queue pop-ups are less than a minute, usually. At least it's a tank. I have a tank bias there. But still. As a non-tank, it's still pretty short, too. Unfortunately, because it was a healer that declined, that's definitely going to start the queue time over. I genuinely don't understand that, though. But I got immediate replacement queue. The healer is not AFK. Okay. We're in. Slightly longer dungeon, but that's okay. Pulling a little extra just for the help these people out there leveling.
Need no outsider. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Make room for guests. Approach. Your date awaits.
Now you probably want to be looting too. I'm not looting because I'm being lazy. And at most I'm missing out on like
Come to me.
hundreds of bronze, not thousands of bronze.
We will destroy these intruders.
Mm-hmm.
Serpent, charge me with your
Okay.
failed.
Tag everything. Pull everything. As long as it's not too far out of the way anyway. Can I use the axe in here? I'm not sure. I don't think so, no. Oh, I got hit by an arrow. You really can't control that because you don't get to see where they're going, you only get to see them hit when they hit. You either get hit or you don't. What's funny is because I have damaging shield on, the person hit me with the arrow took damage, which procced wildfire, and that's why you saw numbers in the corner. They were taking damage from attacking me.
Wish to undo what your kind have wrought upon our land. You must first prove yourselves here in our school. First, you will face our initiates.
Yeah, your initiates aren't doing too well, buddy.
You have much to learn if you wish to defend your people from the Shah initiate. Stand aside for your fellow students. You have bested our most junior of students. Now you will face two of...
And I apologize for my inability to know. I don't know how to do video editing where you fast forward stuff when there's not much going on. I can either cut it out, which I don't want to do because that defeats the purpose of showing how long this takes. But it'd be nice to be able to fast forward it a little bit too. But I don't know any free programs that do that. If any of you do, let me know. Because I definitely need to up my video editing game.
Perhaps you can be of use to us after all.
I'm using a free program that basically can only, you know, cut footage.
You cannot
And that's about it.
someone until you fight them.
Oh wait, I already killed Fragrant. Oh.
So that we may be
I totally spaced out killing his lieutenants.
very well then, outsiders. Skill with a weapon is but a physical manifestation of one's martial strength. Let me show you what spiritual power is.
Alright. This dungeon is probably one of the longer ones. It has more bosses than some of the shorter ones, but at least it makes the video unbiased. It does show you like a median or average of what it's going to take, and not just the best case scenario. 2 short dungeons in a row would have been like best case scenario, and that might have a bit created a bias. And people be in comments going, "It takes me longer."
So long as violence lurks in your hearts, I will return.
I know you can skip this pack, but like I said, I'm kind of doing a little bit extra. Of course he got that spell off just before the end, so I can't click the panda. Whatever, he's just going to stay alive and immortal. Nobody else wants to help and click it for me. So we're going to be stuck in combat the rest of the dungeon, but that's fine. The mobs aren't threatening anyway. I'm gonna pull this because even though you can skip it, I can't trust Group Finder to skip it. Somebody will fat ass it. It does not... Like, they skip things that take very little time. I'm not that super min-max about it. I play this very casually. But because we're stuck in combat, we won't be able to loot, but it's fine, it'll just be mailed to you. We're done with the dungeon. And that was actually probably the longest part of the daily routine. Next, scenarios. Do the normal scenario. Could be worse. This is one of the slower ones, but it's not the slowest one. The slowest one, without a doubt, is that damn Brewing Storm. I hate that one. Still time efficient because you're doing the daily bonuses and stuff, but the NPC sure walks slow. Waiting for some RP. Bombs go off, open the door. I'll make sure in this video too that there's a lot of timestamps on there and a TLDR at the end. Of course, somebody's gonna be in comments going like, "You could have made this video 10 seconds long and that's it. Do the scenarios, do the dungeons, do the one LFRQ, and you're done." But I still think it's important to show it. Oh, I didn't realize I had to click that. Well, I wasted time there. I still think it's important to show it because people want to quantify the time. They don't just want to hear it and be told you can do all of this and get this much bronze in X time. They want to quantify it. And I want it to be clear that, like, in the time you spent watching this video, you could have done the same thing and gotten the same bronze. Now, for this scenario specifically, the extra action button actually does a lot of damage. Not as much as it used to. They fixed the bug where it was doing millions of damage. But it still does a lot of damage. Often more damage than you can do as a player if you're not maxed out. So if you're using like a weaker character, use this to kill mobs. If you get this scenario specifically anyway. Oh, I didn't click the thing. Oh. Now I gotta do this annoying thing. Bring them a bunch of stuff. At least I have max movement speed. But I still have less movement speed than a demon hunter. Okay. Some mobs. Grab another power cell. Let's see. I think she's doing the egg yolk. Pony's been done, so we just need the cannonballs. But I delivered 2 bad, for fuck's sake. I probably dropped one by casting Heroic Leap. I forgot about that. I don't think you can carry stuff and do Heroic Leap. I think that stuff drops it. So I gotta redo that last battery. Blizzard's not always consistent with that. Sometimes you can Heroic Leap while carrying something for a quest, other times you can't. Okay. I'll kill a few more mobs and this scenario's done. Now the good thing about this is the one I hate, the Brewing Storm, I don't think that one can be a heroic scenario. So I've already lucked out in not getting the worst possible scenario for the normal. The heroic scenario pool is only 6. But this is probably the second longest scenario. Or at least the time will be well rounded. It's not going to be worst case scenario, but it's going to be pretty much in there for showing you a fair median for how long this takes daily. I think that's the last boss. Yeah. Okay. Done with normal scenario. And if you don't want to do this much per day, you could actually cut the normals out and just do like 1 of each instead of 2 of each. 2 of each is still better time management though, I think. See, the quest is already done. But doing the queue also gives you a greater bronze. Like, just to see my progress so far, I'm already up to 17,000 bronze. I started at 3,000. And still not done. And of course still getting spools, 300 versatility. This is also how this character became a juicer in the first place, well, one of the reasons. You know, this buff makes a huge difference. You can really let people catch up. Anyways, next queue. Heroic scenario. Because again, greater bronze. We're doing this for the greater bronzes. Now this is an ideal scenario. This one's not bad at all. Not the shortest, but it's one of the shorter ones. Because there's no RP to slow you down anywhere in this. RP is #1 killer for slowing scenarios down. This one's just kill shit and get it done. I don't even know the story of this one, and I played the OG too. It was just kind of like, go into this tomb, kill shit, and that's it. It's like, well, why? Why did we go in that tomb again? Oh, treasure? Oops, I stepped on a trap, almost died. Those traps do scale no matter how much power you have. I have 14 million health and lost half of it stepping on a trap. Because they're percent based. So be careful. Not that they're hard to avoid, I just spaced that out for some reason. Don't click this as a waste of time. Clicking that activates all the dog guardians. You'll also activate like the ones down here too, like... You're always gonna get these two, but... The other ones are just a waste of time, and you get like... a couple gold or something really trivial for looting that treasure. It's just a bait. And that scenario's done. Like I said, this is one of the better ones. Cool axe, already had the mug. Okay, that's it for scenarios. Now one last thing. A single raid finder, and the most efficient one is Guardians of Mogushan. This only gives lesser bronze, so you're not, I'm not going to spam LFR, it's just for the looking for more raid quests. This queue might take longer, but typically, as long as you choose Guardians of Mogushan, it's faster. Because that's where everyone queues for the most quick quest completion. Open more bronze, click another thread. More crit. 19k. And it's worth noting if you really wanted to, like if you do have more time, you could do all of these. I think it's more so for the threads than for the bronze. But if you have a geared enough character, it's actually more efficient not to do LFR and just to do actual raids. But the purpose of this video, it's just what do you want to do daily when you're by yourself. You don't want to spend time looking for group finder or clearing raids, like the actual raids. Just want to do the minimum. And here's the mail from the boss that I couldn't loot. Like I said, don't even worry about it. If you don't even loot a boss, it doesn't matter. It'll get mailed to you. Okay, use all the threads. The LFR queue might take longer, and the annoying part is it's because of healers. Even though you don't need healers, which is kind of annoying. I kind of wish Blizzard would redesign that concept. It's the same with holiday bosses. Don't you just love sitting in the queue for 10 minutes for a holiday boss because there are no healers available? And the holiday boss dies in 20 seconds? That's great. Like, I really wish Blizzard would be like, this content isn't tuned to be hard enough to need a healer. Don't require the healer. But like I said, if you choose Guardians of Mogushan, it's still pretty fast. We already have at least 4 healers and 11 DPS. That means even if the rest are AFK, it should still start the run. I think that there's a bare minimum threshold for starting the run, and that's having like 4 out of 5 healers, 2 out of 2 tanks is required, and like 11 out of 18 DPS is all that's required. So once this timer hits 0, whether they're all AFK or not, or if they're all back or not, you still get ported in. As long as you meet the criteria for the bare minimum.
The ancient vaults of the Mogu, untouched by time for thousands of years. Who knows what secrets await? Many young Pandaran warriors have vanished. The Mogu held considerable power over the stones of the earth. Their magic lingers on, even centuries later. That was close.
And I can tell you from the DPS meter, even if I wasn't on a juicer, at least 2 of these people would have killed that boss in maybe 10 more seconds than I did.
We seem to have awakened.
You're gonna get a juicer if you queue looking for raid. This is not gonna be slow. I promise you that. This will not be slow.
Were true.
That paladin just did more damage than I did.
Under your souls, mortals. These are the halls of the dead. If they what horrors await.
I was second on the meters.
Fang the accursed.
I guess my group partner was the other one though. But still, you get the point.
Body destroyed.
We're already almost done. 2 out of 3 bosses down. The raid quest is already done though, but there's no sense not to
Is not the
finish.
No matter. We don't be needing what's back that way.
The Zandalari, ancient allies of the Mogul. They must seek the legendary weapon within the depths of the vaults.
I try to focus on the aerial ones because a lot of people ignore them.
These vaults house a weapon of unimaginable power. Stop them. I will stay behind and investigate.
Alright.
Time to play, friends.
They didn't even cast raid buffs, like... Wait, we don't have a single mage in this entire LFR? That explains why we don't have a mage buff. Not that a warrior needs it, but...
It be dying time now.
Kleines Hühnchen.
I was number 6 on damage, because I didn't even get all my shit up yet. So yeah, I could have come in here with the most dog shit of characters imaginable, and this still would have been done
What a shame for us
in under 10 minutes.
to endure. But it ain't no thing.
That's how you get your raid quest done quickly.
Be needing them.
Someone's trying to queue again. No thank you. So the raid quest is done.
Speak. Protect
Turn that in.
truth.
There we go. Click the bronze, get my thread. More haste. Another cash, another thread. The mini bronze. I guess I was still 1,000. But yeah. There's the end result. 23k. And I started at 3k, so... Yeah, it's fair to say you get 20k in... What's this video length? 27 minutes. So about 1k a minute, give or take. Because I probably didn't queue immediately. I'll do the final math when I'm doing the editing. But yeah, that's it. Do that every day. And you can literally buy tons of stuff. Like, if you look at this guy. 20k, you can buy all the mounts on the first page. Literally, like, all these mounts, day 1. Most of these, day 2. And they start getting more expensive, but the point is, you'll get through all of them.
Safe travels.
In no time. Now you wonder why I'm dual boxing, because obviously, I turn that 20k into 40k. Just by dual boxing, that's it. So if you do have a second account, absolutely dual box. That's not required. But yeah, as you can see up here, a dual boxer. I didn't show you his start stuff, but that makes it even more lucrative. Here's what it looks like opening it all at once, because I didn't open any of them until now. Bronze, up the yin-yang. And some spools to juice them up. Stamina. Oh yeah. Look how fast those stats rack up. This character is like a fresh 70. So he has like a crappy cloak. But you'll catch up pretty quickly. To put into perspective, the amount of threads he just got in 30 minutes or under 30 minutes is how long you would have to farm frogs for like probably 3 hours during the Frogger days. Like, you build stats quick. This buff is a big deal for catching people up. Yep, you guys, 20k bronze from all the stuff I just opened. There you have it. That's how you get 20k bronze in about 20 to 30 minutes a day. So if you're on a limited time budget, that's the key to it. And if you have more time per day, the next thing you would probably do, honestly, is probably normal mode raids if you're lower geared. If you're higher geared, you do the heroic raids, but just the first 3 because you don't want to go Throne of Thunder and Siege of Orgrimmar start getting iffy in time management because it takes significantly longer. You can steamroll through Terrace and Heart of Fear and Mogushan Vaults, normal or heroic, very rapidly. Now, for Siege of Orgrimmar, I wouldn't say don't do it, but that becomes one of those situations to where that's only fast if you're actually up there in gear like this. Like, those are pretty much only on farm by pumpers. So if you're just starting out, then stick to what I showed in this video, and maybe the entry raids, because those will still be fairly quick for you. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.